Camille fell flat for me. She severely underestimated Dorit. That argument would have worked with Dorit a few seasons ago.
She could like kind of be a sniper like a little bit, like with some barbs here, but she never went full throttle with people. But she's like, I'm done.
The accent's gone. The big words are gone. She's calling you a C word and not apologizing for it. Then doubling down and going to her confessional and saying she has no regrets. She hasn't missed so far. Has not lost an argument. Everyone is kind of like, what do we do?
They're all shell-shocked. Who is this woman? And I think we're all like, who is this woman? Love it.
Right now, this season, Dorit's order is a straight vodka. Her castmates' carcasses out. We gonna stir it up and do things our way. So if you wanna move, get out of our way. Hey, hey.
Actually, it should be ho, ho, ho.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Yay. It's that time of year. And it's almost 2025. I can't believe it.
It's scary.
I kind of get sad, but because it's always like as soon as the holidays end, I get sad that they're over, and I'm like, oh, I have to wait another year, and then they come by so fast. And I'm like, oh,
that's something that's whimsical and schmaltzy about you. Like, I'm not one for the holidays. I don't care.
I love it. I like that you think that I'm whimsical and schmaltzy when it comes to the holidays. I will wear that with a badge of honor. Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah, I don't have like special. It's not. I like the summertime.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Right.
I love the wintertime. Love the wintertime anyway. But at least we have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills to comfort us.
Yeah.
In this time and going into the new year.
They're taking a break, right?
Yes, they are taking a break. They're not coming back until January 7th. So are we. We're going to take a break as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we'll be back. We'll be back basically January 8th. So we'll be back January 8th. And so we're going to take a break. But I will say this. Do make sure you're still following us and that you are like and subscribed both on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure that you are following us on all of our socials because you never know what little droplets and tidbits Jordan and I might be dropping on the socials and maybe a little like surprise thing because we live in LA, we travel, you never know who we're going to run into and talk to, what little stuff might come up. So yeah, I would make sure that you're definitely following us because we're going to post.
Yeah. And who knows what comes with a break because there's always some might pop in with a bonus. Like last week, I have to tell them. So last week, speaking of these bonuses, subscribe. Last week, I told you guys about the DirecTV party at Kathy's house. I went to that. All the Bravo people. We did a whole episode. I have a special one for you guys. I don't think anyone else there had a podcast. I went this weekend, Saturday night, to the other Kathy party, the Hilton Family Holiday Party, the private one. The one, man. Yes, this is the one. This is the one that Erika talked about last year. How Kathy holds the key to the real Beverly Hills, and her Christmas list makes it or breaks it. Guess who was on the list?
Jordan with nice one.
So it was fun. I know the DirecTV one, you guys know I doesn't call him James Vanderpump, James Kennedy, and the whole like swath of Bravo was there. This one, like I said, it's their private one. It's friends and family. Some housewives, some people were mixed in, of course, Kyle and all the family, Paris and Nikki. And then I'd say who I was talking to. I just want to let you know. Bozoma, so nice. She is so cool. She's just like you see on TV. And I like to report back when they're not. She was so nice. She was so cool. I got to talk to her for a couple of minutes. And also, too, I bumped into, and I was talking to you for a minute, is Jennifer Tilly. Who another
was she
one.
So nice?
They both. I regret to inform you guys I have nothing. No dirt. They were both, and she has that sweet voice, Jennifer Tilly, and she's not pretentious at all.
I mean, she's my new favorite housewife. I know that she's technically a friend of, but she really is my new fave. Like I was telling you in our chat, I was like, she has 4 houses. I mean, that should make you one of her favorites too, but like she's my favorite in like so many different ways. Like granted, I also love like a lot of times any really tall housewife is one of my favorites because so many women are very small. So both Bose and Jennifer Tilly are very tall women, and I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
Bose is tall. Bose is like that's how I spotted her. I mean, she commanded I mean, she had a presence. I was like, who is that? She was talking to Kathy, and I was like, hey,
oh my God,
hey, besties.
Can I ask you a question going back to the DirecTV party at Kathy's about James? Because, you know, the DV incident happened after that party. Correct. It happened the same night, but it did not, like a lot of people were like, oh, it did not happen at the party.
Absolutely.
So
it happened in Burbank when they got back home. It did not happen in Bel Air.
But you saw James. Like, what was the vibe that you got off of James that night? Can you say if it was any like vibe or anything?
I mean, I didn't see anything between him and Allie, but he was definitely what would the word be? Buzzing around the party. A lot of pacing. Okay. He was taking selfies with everyone. But he was, every time I saw him, it was like I'd be like, oh, there goes James down the hall. Oh, there goes James up the stairs. Like, so there was energy. There was a chaotic energy to him. He was in a zone.
Would you say it was kind of like manic in a way?
Manic, very focused, very like he was looking for something. I don't know. Yeah, he was the one. Everyone's chill, being cool, air kissing, small talk, you know. And then I just see him almost like a waiter who had somebody just up the hall, down the hall. Wait, he's over in that room. So
okay, cool. I just wanted to know, and I feel like our listeners would like to know.
Yeah. And I've heard from others. They noticed that too. Everyone who I like followed up with after that night, I was getting DMs like, oh my God, did you see James too? Because some people were there and they were like, yeah, he was like going up and down and all over. No one. Yeah.
It's almost like it sounds to me like a very unfocused focus in a sense. Like, I got to go find something, but where is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel like you
like I didn't, well, it was such a big party. I wasn't like necessarily focused on him, but it did. Right. What I'm trying to say is I didn't see him take anything, but I would not have been surprised that up and down. Like I was like, I don't know what he's up to. Very eager, very, very energetic. Take from that what you will.
All right. Well, let's take it to Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Episode 5.
That's right. We're dropping in this week in Beverly Hills. And one thing you were just talking about Jennifer Tilly and her 4 houses. We got to meet her assistant Jeff. I wonder if he has like a support circle with Avi. Sutton's Avi.
And Kathy's the lady. Oh my gosh. I noticed this episode particularly that Jennifer says Sutton like you say Sutton, like with the very pronounced T's. Like, yeah, I was like, oh, it sounds like Jordan saying Sutton.
Yeah, Sutton, like Sutton Place in New York. Is it like Sutton, like SUDD, a soft?
I feel like I probably say it in a very like lazy Southern way of Sutton, like Sutton, like that type of thing, like kind of running everything together. Whereas like you say it kind of staccato, and so does Jennifer Tilly. Like let me pronounce these 2 T's. It's not just 1 T; it's 2 T's. Like
Sutton. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's cute. It's very cute. I don't want you to get self-conscious about it, but But some of our listeners have pointed out they like the way that you say Sutton.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they think it's very cute. So I thought it was cute
I
that she
think
says
of
it
it.
the same way.
Yeah, I think the only time I've seen it wasn't even a person named Sutton. There's a famous street where like Onassis lived in New York called Sutton. Oh, Dorinda moved to Sutton Place when she
That's
too. It's a neighborhood in New York, so that's my point of reference.
That is right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but
Um,
Jennifer has 4 houses, and I like how I was watching the after show, that house, her playhouse, apparently is like the bigger of the 2 houses that she keeps clean and has people over, and the house next door that she lives in is kinda small, and she was talking about how her and her boyfriend kinda she's like, "We're just like," I think she said like gerbils. We just like nest in there and like we don't have to worry about keeping it clean for other people or anything like that. So we just keep the second house is like perfect, and that's where we entertain and that's where we can have people over. And so we don't have to worry about like our own mess, and we can live however the fuck we want to over here. And I was like, God, I wish I had that kind of money.
Yeah.
Like
Neighboring homes and it's in Bel Air. It's up the street from the
Right.
Bel Air Hotel. So I mean,
Mm.
and then the place that I could not find, I tried to find for you guys. I could not. This Malibu house. I mean, I even, just so you know, I even kind of like tried finding her late ex-husband because maybe they would be tied to an address. I could not find this Malibu address, but it looks spectacular in the pictures.
I would like to Airbnb that, Jennifer, and, commune with this ghost. I
Yeah.
would have that. Like, I don't think it would be communing in a most fun way, but I still always enjoy a ghost story. So, yeah, please. Love it. But anyway, well, they have that set up, and then they have juxtaposed with Dorit and Erika over at Dorit's house and that whole thing. I'm getting the vibe this season that Erika is like she's it's a second season of her basically being more calm, being more chill, being supportive of Dorit. And I think, and obviously coming from a place of almost like I've learned my lesson. And so I'm going to be there for you because you're going to end up having to learn your own lessons. And I'm not going to harsh on you for going through this like bad thing. And I'm going to be supportive, but I'm not going to be mean about it. And I think that's kind of nice. I think like she's acknowledging where she has been and that she wasn't a good person while going through her shit.
I guess we'll get into it a little later in this episode because it happens at the end. It's something I noticed about her versus Sutton is that Sutton, by trying to take the lead with this sisterhood circle and all this stuff, I don't know if she's intentionally being hypocritical or what, but she is acting like she's the peacemaker and the group leader and the glue trying to keep the group together. It's actually Erika this season who kind of has a passive role. And if you look, producers send her out to the other women's homes to kind of mingle and then bring the other women together. She's being sent out like go to Dorit's house and go to Kyle's or whatever. So it's actually the producers are using Erika to keep this fractured group together. Sutton sees herself in that role. We'll get into that later when the therapist comes and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that I like Sutton's sentiment about it, but just like actually Bose says later on because I have this already written down as in my notes at this point, that it's not real life. Like it's a nice sentiment. And I think it's always nice. We always want to do better as human beings, but it isn't real life. Like people are going to talk and also you can't necessarily go deep with people in a group situation. You go deep with people either one-on-one or like in a threesome, and I don't mean sexually. I mean, but like that's how you go deep with people. So it's nice to have that idea, but like it doesn't work. I was in a sorority. I know it doesn't work out.
Yeah,
like, you can't do this stuff. Come on. But I'm appreciating Erika this season so far.
She's the one keeping it going. keeping the group together. She's the common thread, but not in a Rinna way where Rinna would do it, or they send Tamara on Orange County out to do it, to stir it up. Erika is real, like genuinely like avoiding conflict or talking through, you know.
Also, real quick, because it's at the top of my notes, I did come in to watching it this morning. Like, I wanted to defend Sutton because I'd seen like clips and I'd already watched the behind the scenes stuff because it's up on YouTube last night. But as I was watching this episode, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that in a minute. So
what did it? So then from there, I mean, a lot of the middle section of the episode was kind of middle. Like it was.
Yeah, it was.
So you have that, and then it goes to this thing that Sutton Stracke is rolling up her sleeves to help Garcelle move into her beach house.
Well, move some stuff, not move in. I will say this. I love Garcelle's white refrigerator. And if you know what that reference is, then you know. This is a good white refrigerator.
Yeah.
I really love her like kitchen. I love that place. But I was like, yeah, look at this setup so much. Just like, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I mean, they've had it this season. I guess there's humor in having very, very fancy people do very regular things. So we had Kathy in the roles, hand delivering her invitations to Oceanside, and now you have Sutton pulling up in a U-Haul. It was like, okay, sure, with Avi.
Yeah,
her little Ozempic patient.
Yeah. I will say this. When they were talking up at the top, I don't think that Sutton is wrong about PK and the finances when it comes to Dorit and her divorce. And I don't think that Garcelle is wrong when it comes to the robbery. This is all stuff that robbery. We've said that before. Many people have said that before. Sorry, real quick astrology. Like, Sun is a Sagittarius rising. Garcelle is a Sagittarius sun. We tend to be blunt truth tellers. Like, one of the things that Sun keeps saying is that I want the truth. And that's what Sagittarians really like, is the truth. But it's interesting because there's a difference between, so I think they say a lot of stuff that, like, yeah, people sometimes brush under the rug. Sometimes people don't say, or say in hushed tones, like they're willing to say it. It's just the way that they say it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the way that Sutton is saying things this season, or at least this episode, that it's just like, girl, let's be a little bit more tactful.
Yeah. Well, I think her, as we're seeing finally, she's become a full-fledged housewife, and that she's absolutely delusionally hypocritical.
Yeah.
Camille level hypocritical. Yeah, that in that sense, she's a full-fledged housewife. She sits there clutching her pearls, talking about her Southern manners, and then she says like the most horrible stuff, and then cries or screams if you answer back to her. So at least real life infuriating, but she's finding her legs as a horrible human being. That makes a great housewife.
Look, that is the MO of most Southern women. As somebody who grew up in Texas, that is the MO. You act a certain way in public and you are a completely different person.
Yeah.
On the inside and in private. So, yeah. Don't pretend to want all the truth. And then we have Erika's therapy with Dr. Jen.
Dr. Jen, she is a staple in reality TV.
I really miss that show, Couples Therapy. That was so good.
So you have Dr. Jen, and there was one, I forget the name of that show. It was like Beverly Hills Therapist or LA Therapist. It was on Bravo with Dr. V. Do you remember Dr. V? Yeah. There are a few. Then there's another TV therapist, a male, Dr. Sophie, I think, who's currently like in a lawsuit with Dr. Dre. Over threats. I mean, there's a handful of them, and when Dr. Jen, I felt like I knew Dr. Jen Man, because I was like, oh my God, I've grown up in reality TV with her.
Well, when she was doing couples therapy on VH1, she had another doctor on there, Dr. Michael Dow, and I went to college with him. Like, we were in theater school together. Like, I was like, wait a minute, Michael Dow is a doctor now?
And he found his way onto TV. That, I guess his dream came true. Just another
It did.
round.
I mean, good for him. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, I was dying. Anyway, but Erika said some interesting things about Sutton that I did not disagree with, because I also think that, like what I just said about Southern women, Erika, because they both come from Georgia. Erika she knows that hypocrisy that you were talking about, especially the hypocrisy of Southern women. And I think that Sutton feels left out. Like, she was kind of like a popular mean girl, but she wasn't like, she was like the Gretchen Wiener. Do you know what I mean? Like, she wasn't Regina George. She was Gretchen Wiener. So it's like, I'm still trying to maintain that level, but I still got to be mean to other people. So yeah.
Yeah. What did Erika said on the Sutton's inconsistent? Her personality flips. She implied she has maybe bipolar. She said perhaps maybe she has a.
She said she has she might have a personality disorder.
Yeah.
But then at the same breath, Erika's like, insinuated that maybe she recognizes that she has one as well.
Yeah,
I was like,
she's,
love it.
Took that sip of Coke and was just like, I mean, it nailed it. And that's something that's different about them, is because Erika is extremely direct. Erika has always hated because like Beverly Hills on its own without the Southern influence is known. Bose has talked about it, how passive aggressive these women are and everything. It's a game. I mean, now throw a Southern Belle like Sutton into it, but Erika's always been a tougher person. I mean, remember when she chewed at Kathy's dinner party, or what? Sutton.
Yeah.
So those two, they have different energies, even though they're from the same region.
Well, they come from different sides of the track.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
And I think that makes a big difference. And you know what, like, as you were talking, like thinking about it, I think that's why a lot of us got so mad at Erika when it was revealed that Girardi Keese was a scam, that her ex-husband was scamming, was just basically a big con man. And then she couldn't say anything for legal reasons. And so we're like, because you're always so direct, because you're always willing to talk about stuff, you're not talking about it now. Why is this any different? But it is different because she has lawsuits against her, and anything that she says can be used against her. So I think it's kind of dawning on me now that that's why we got so angry at her.
Yeah. And the way the therapist said, because what Erika's wondering in this session is she's feeling kind of resentful that the women are rallying for the other women divorcing, but when her marriage fell apart to Tom, where were they? And the therapist said, your divorce was dirty. She literally said, your divorce was dirty, and no one knew what to do or what to say. Like, no one wanted to get their hands. If Erika could have escaped it, she would have too. No one wanted to touch that case. So,
I mean, I don't disagree at all. I don't know how I would have handled it if I was either just one of the women in the group or Erika, to be honest with you. So, yeah. But yeah.
That pizza party, that's what she wanted. That's funny. I can't imagine Erika being surprised. But although she's warmed up, I can't imagine the women feeling comfortable going to her house as a surprise with the pizza party, what they did for Kyle. That's what she kept talking about. When am I getting my pizza party? I imagine like being a little afraid, like, how will she answer? Like, because she's intimidated. What if she's like, yeah.
She has a different vibe from Kyle in that sense, but because Kyle has, as strong as she has that little sister take care of me vibe. Even though she takes care of business. Like, I'm not saying that Kyle's a weak woman in any way. Like, she's got her own shit going on, but she still can play a little bit more like helpless damsel in distress. And that's not Erika. Erika doesn't play damsel in distress. She's like, I don't have any pretense of being that way. So I think a lot of times people don't think that she needs that help.
Right.
It's always the strong ones that you need to, your strong friends are the ones that you should check in with sometimes more than the friends who wear their vulnerabilities on the outside.
That's true. I guess that what you just said proved or I proved your point where I was like, I wouldn't want to like surprise her. Who knows? Like maybe she'll be upset. And you're like, well, maybe that's why she was alone, hoping people would check on her.
Yeah. Yeah. And she felt alone during that time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think you get older and you realize, oh, I do put off this veneer of things. Like, how can I maybe soften this just a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, how can I, do that?
But she didn't come on to the show. She didn't come on to there was a reason too. I mean, when she came on the show, she's a very hard person. So, I mean, I think that also where she is to blame, of course, hindsight is 2020, but she came on so strong, kind of mean, very intimidating. And then seeing that where she's above it all, the higher you climb, the farther you fall. So it wasn't, if this had happened to Sutton or Dorit or anyone, it'd be like, oh my God. But Erika was asking for it, her attitude, until she got humbled. And now we're seeing a humble Erika. So
yeah. Yeah. Okay. We see like the party prep type of stuff. I just have to say this. Like when Kyle was like, I'm doing denim and diamonds, I was like, just gag me with a pitchfork right now. Like as a grunge emo theater teen in the 90s in Texas, like I fucking hate like this type of cowboy glitzy shit. Like I cannot stand it. You're either real cowboy or not. Like I just hate this crap. But that is just me. I am just that type of person. So pretty much all of their outfits I despise.
Honestly, denim and diamonds is very white party adjacent. Very white party adjacent. It wasn't that big of a stretch in theme. Like it's same vibe of a party, same they're almost interchangeable. Maybe you have to switch your outfit, but it's the same concept. So and did you see who came back?
Oh, our favorite pernicious OG housewife.
That sweet angel. So, Camille Donatacci Grammer Meyer.
Yep.
Oh, she came back, new veneers, adjusted face.
I mean, I don't know. Is she on like her 5th pair of tits now? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she was. And I normally get so excited. You guys have heard me speak endlessly about Camille, and I think she's an amazing housewife. The worst people make the best housewives. She was not on her A game this episode.
No.
She did not. I mean, first of all, coming in for Dorit. Dorit has not missed once this season. She's in like she is in like 3 clashes an episode, and in each one she levels the person.
Like, if we want to talk about cowboys, that girl's a sharpshooter this season. My God. She's like, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah,
Take them all out.
She is in every episode. She is Kim Richards in Amsterdam, just going down that table. Let's talk about this. I'm sick of your face. You're a beast. I'm about to talk about your husband. Like, no one can control her.
No one. I mean, the fact that like she was like, "You are a see you next Tuesday," and she's like, "No, I didn't call you an effing see you next Tuesday. I called you a stupid." She's like, I'm gonna double down on it. I am doubling down on it. And she's like, "You're so mean to me. I don't care." She's like, "And it was a joke, and you know it, and we've already talked about it, and that was 8 years ago, and now you want to bring it up at this moment? Like, I'm not playing with you.
Yeah,
no." Like,
she did not have time. Dorit does not have time for their games. She is like guns blazing, no patience. Maybe that's why Bose likes her so much right now. because Boz has been having issues with watching these women be so passive aggressive. And I think a couple seasons ago, she would have hated Dorit, but
Yes, I would agree.
Dorit has taken the place of Erika in her Gerardi Jayne phase. I mean, she is just like in your face. Let's talk about it. Like,
I would agree with that. Absolutely. Yeah. Can we talk real quick about when Camille walked in and first talked to Kyle? Because we had another moment of Kyle being the exception to the rule with her divorce. She pulled a moment of like, I don't think Camille, like, Mo is not having a midlife crisis, really. Like, my divorce is going to be different than Camille's divorce.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it is, because it's just going to be a little bit different. But again, Kyle thinks she's the exception to the rule. And I felt like she was, as much as I dislike Camille, I felt like Camille was like trying to, in her own Camille way, bond with Kyle over this of like, I've been there. Like, I totally get it. And she was just trying to be like, yeah, like they go through a midlife crisis. But then Kyle's like, oh, he's not going through a midlife. Camille's like, girl, come on. Like, what the fuck? We've all been seeing TMZ. Come on.
Yeah, and a new one came out today as well. He was in Aspen with someone, and her name, I don't know who she is, but TMZ said Claudia K, and Claudia with a K as well. So KL. I don't know. He was spotted holding hands or kissing or something. So I mean, they just, the best thing for them would be, because Kyle's still, I've seen interviews, she's still insisting they haven't even discussed divorce. They're living separately. I mean, if he is as successful as they claim, then maybe they could be like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver. They have so much money, they can afford to live separately and live their own lives without filing. It took the Schwarzeneggers like 10 plus years to divorce, because they could just, there was no rush. They all have assets. No one's gonna worry. So I mean, because no one's pulling the trigger unless Mauricio's, maybe, because Kyle's cooled it with more pushing Morgan on the show and in public, and now you see Mauricio out there, out and about. So I wonder, one of them is daring the other to pull the trigger and file. I don't know who.
You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for Mauricio to get some girl pregnant. Then all hell will break loose. That forces a hand.
Yeah. I mean, because otherwise they can continue going on like this forever.
Also, what do you think of like these rumors that people keep seeing Dorit coming out of Mauricio's building? And I'm kind of like, I don't really believe. In a way, I wouldn't be surprised if PK tried to leak those rumors to like basically besmirch Dorit. That's my conspiracy theory.
Because he is a desperate. PK is a desperate. I mean, he's not. They notice the way they speak differently of Kyle's divorce and Dorit's, because there's a real business there. Kyle's not Dorit, and no one knows what's gonna happen to Dorit, because allegedly, everything we see, there's a lot of debt, a lot of credit. There's not a lot of money, and it's a house of cards. So what is she going to do without the show?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so Bose, brings up about like it not being realistic to have this like tribal council thing. And I was like, absolutely. Yes. But then she was like, but maybe we should have a group chat with everybody, because nobody was happy that you and I were just talking, at lunch on the beach, they felt left out, whatever. I was like, that's such bullshit. For the group, like, I was like, let them have their discussion, for fuck's sake. Come on.
I said last week about that, what the women were concerned with was their own camera time. That is truly, they didn't want to hear. How many of them talk behind each other's back? At least whatever Erika whispered was on camera in their presence. It wasn't a confessional warrior like some of them who just save all the. So I think it was more about what's going on over there when it be cut from this scene.
Yeah. Well, I will say, I mean, Sutton came out guns a-blazing. And when what was the term that Erika used for her? That she's vicious or she's
Let's
whatever it
see.
was.
She had said earlier, Erika had said that she's, I believe, unstable.
Right. But she said something
Inconsistent.
super inconsistent. I mean, Jennifer backed it up in her own confessional. She was like, and then she actually doubled down on it in the after show. And Sutton was
volatile.
not happy.
The word was volatile. And Jennifer,
I knew it started with a V.
And Jennifer Tilly agreed.
Jennifer Tilly agreed. And then in the after show, Jennifer Tilly called her mercurial. And she was like, I know what that means. Don't you be saying that. And she's like, but I'm like, and I love Jennifer Tilly because she was like, I'm willing to tell the truth. Like, I like it when somebody's like, I am your friend and I will tell you the things that you don't always want to hear, but that are at least she's telling the truth. See, that's the hypocrisy there that Sutton has of like, I want to be able to tell you the truth, but I don't want you to tell me the truth.
Exactly. That is. And with Sutton, she's beyond reproach, but she is there. And she's even the way she's telling these women. I get it. She did divorce successfully. So I get she has advice to share, but the way she is basically like, I'm going to tell you how to run your divorce. And like these women are like, stay out of my business. Like, thanks. I'm not.
I had a thought after watching it while I was in the shower, because, you know, that's one of the places we all do our best thinking. And I was like, oh, Sutton wants to be right. It's one of those things where it's like, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? And she just wants to be right about a lot of things. Like she wants to be like the grand dame of divorces in a sense, because she had the richest divorce out of all of these women, at least at the time, you know? So, and it's like, honey, just give her some rope. Give her space to make her own mistakes. Like, let her come to you. You can't, again, like you said, like she's trying to, you know, navigate or be the you know, the producer pet in the sense, but she's not the hub on the wheel. She's just a spoke.
Right. She's never been the glue of the group, and it feels, I mean, that sisterhood thing, going back to, I was like, why are you doing, because she's used the sister thing before. Remember last season when she said to Kyle at the other Camille dinner party, the weed one, where she said, you've already lost 2 sisters. Do you want to lose a third? Or something like that. I was like, when my jaw dropped when she said that, I was like, this is like Dana Wilkie all over again, telling Kyle, we're ride or dies. It's just you and me till the end. That's how it's always. It's like, I don't think you're one of the sisters, Sutton. Stop calling people that.
Yeah. I mean, like for somebody who already has 2 sisters, I would find it like, no, I don't have 2 sisters, but if I had 2 sisters, I'd be like, you don't get to be a sister. You get to be a closer, because there's a difference. Like, and Sutton doesn't have sisters as far as I know. So she doesn't know what that's like. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call another man my brother. I already have a brother. And like, that's the relationship that I have. So it's like, I'm not going to call another man my brother. And I wouldn't call another woman who already has a sister like my sister. Do you know what I mean? But if I was close with another woman, we were like that close and neither one of us have sisters, I'd be like, oh, we're like sisters. Like, that's different. But if you already have that type of sibling, no, that's my opinion.
Yeah. And especially in the context of this show where the sisterhood, the Richards Hilton sisterhood, is the core of what moves the show forward and why it was created. She wasn't doing that out of kindness. She was being like, I'm here forever, you know? So. Sisterhood.
Yep. But one of the reasons I thought I was going to end up defending Sutton was because when, you know, that scene that we'd been seeing on promos and everything, when she said, you're not mad at me. She said this to Dorit, that you're not mad at me. You're mad at your own life. I believe that that's true. That absolutely is true for Dorit. But the thing is, Dorit admits it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and also it again is one of those things where it wasn't the time for Sutton to say that. It wasn't the right tone for Sutton to say that. Like these are because Erika felt the same way, but she wasn't going to say that to Dorit. She's like, this isn't the time and place for you to say that. You just have to realize this on your own. And also, I was kind of like, maybe Sutton, you should look in the mirror, because why are you getting so angry about these things? Because maybe you're not so happy with where your life is at the moment.
Yeah. She's, I mean, Sutton's never, I don't think she's into I don't know about her therapy status or stuff, but we see like Erika talking through her anger and stuff like that. Sutton doesn't see, Sutton's hinted a lot that she wants to do more with her life. It seems what weighs over her a lot is the fact that she was a housewife, I mean, before the show, she was a kept woman, and she's still technically a kept woman. And that's why these stores and stuff mean a lot to her. But I don't think she's reflected on that because her divorce went better than the others. She thinks she's a role model to them, maybe. She seems pretty unhappy.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, I feel like her and Kyle are somewhat those like kind of cautionary tales of what happens when you pour your entire life into somebody else, into being somebody's partner, into raising other human beings, because then once they're all gone, what do you have left? You have to cultivate a life within yourself and what you really love doing outside of those people. And I think that like that's something that Sutton's really, because she doesn't necessarily, we don't know if Sutton the store is coming back, but I don't know, like does she really want to run a business like that? Kyle, what do you have outside of Housewives and things like that? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, at least Dorit is kind of turning the tables on Sutton and Kyle by being open about these things. She's willing to be raw. And I think that's the thing. I don't think they counted on her being raw and honest about it. And that's why, like you said, like Bose really enjoys her, because she's not being passive aggressive. She's not trying to hide stuff. She's like, yeah, I'm fucked. I'm really unhappy about this stuff.
Yeah. The show doesn't count on you being so direct, and Dorit would never have in a previous season. But Dorit now, which I think makes it great, she has nothing to lose. Kyle's divorce is still, it's complicated. There are a lot of businesses, there's a lot of money, there's a lot of things they'll have to figure out, houses all over. Everyone, including their friends on the show, hinted, like, I think it was when Sutton and Garcelle went into at the beach house, like the robbery and stuff, Sutton implied in this divorce, all hell's going to break loose for Dorit. And I think what she meant is when they dig into the finances and figure out really what's left and what was real. And that's where people like Kyle and Sutton, they can rest comfortably at night. They might be lonely, but they'll be okay. We don't know about Dorit, and that's why I think Dorit is like, I'm defending this job with this paycheck with my life.
And I think that's also why Erika is being super kind to her, because she also sees a similarity of like, Erika lost everything, and Dorit could be that could be Dorit, and Dorit has small children, like the horror, like the terror of that. So yeah, like, oh my gosh. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Well, because I think we were going to talk about the same thing, like Camille, back to Camille, like Camille deciding like, let's make this part about me.
Yeah.
How can I be a part and like have my moment? Can I be another GIF somehow? But like, and she always needs a moment. But the moment that I will not forget is her forgetting Erika's name.
Yeah. That one really caught me off guard, especially after, because Camille had said to Dorit, "You're so condescending to me." And she spoke of Erika like the nameless help. That lady over there.
Yeah. Time to take some of your own medicine, or maybe some ginkgo biloba. Yeah. I don't know, Camille. Like,
Should we talk about that, by the way? Because her return, I was very excited for it. I know I said it earlier. I sing her praises as a diabolical menace to the Housewives. She really doesn't. She doesn't need to be on the show. She appear. She doesn't need the appearance fee. She doesn't have a product to sell us. She doesn't even have like a story. She doesn't give us a window in her life. All she wants is attention, and she enjoys haunting these women. She comes in every season for one dinner party with an axe to grind.
She is the ghost of Housewives past.
Yeah, she is. She is. She is. She is. You know what she is? She's kind of like she's like Beverly Hills Lori Peterson.
Oh my gosh.
She just pops up once in a while and really knows how to trigger the women she left behind. And so this time, though, it fell flat for me. Camille fell flat for me. She not only she severely underestimated Dorit. That argument would have worked with Dorit a few seasons ago. It would have been that lady versus lady, Chanel versus Chanel. This Erika was like, guess what? Or I'm sorry, Dorit was like, guess what? C word. But the other thing with it is Camille was living in the past. Her argument, it reminded me of when Vicky Gunvalson returns. When Vicky Gunvalson returns, and she hasn't really evolved, and she was referencing things from 10 years ago. There was no connection to the current group as it is. And she was like, and when she was talking about like, I need attention. Look at how many selfies you take. And I was like, you sound right now. She was kind of dating herself or aging herself, very, very boomerish, where she was to be like, and you know what, Dorit, stop spending all your money on avocado toast and dating apps. Like,
like, well, and she pulled the whole like classic Dorit thing about not Dorit thing, Camille thing of like, what about me? I've been through such hard things too. Like, I know about like, why are you being so mean to me? Because I went through a divorce. Girl, you went through a divorce 15 years ago. Shut up. And then you got a shit ton of money, and then you remarried. Shut up. Like, you're okay. Also, you said that she severely underestimated Dorit. I feel like that is just going to be that's going to encapsulate this entire season of like everybody severely underestimated Dorit. I mean, I could change my mind later, but I feel like even though, you know, it's going to vacillate. I think, you know, some episodes we're going to like Dorit more than others, but that's being a human. But I think that is it, because
I didn't know she had this in her.
No. I mean, I feel like we maybe saw little flashes here and there with some stuff, but it was more like stuff she said in confessionals. You know what I mean? Because she could be whip smart. She could say certain, like, she could like kind of be a sniper like a little bit, like with some barbs here, but she never went full throttle with people. And like, she let Lisa Vanderpump run all over her. You know what I mean? And so, but she's like, I'm done.
It went from like, what was it? That is in reality diametrically opposed to just flat out B. The accent's gone. The big words are gone. She's calling you a C word and not apologizing for it. Then doubling down and going to her confessional and saying she has no regrets. That.
I was like, bravo.
She hasn't missed so far. Has not lost an argument. Everyone is kind of like, what do we do?
I am. They're all shell-shocked. They're shell-shocked. Who is this woman? And I think we're all like, who is this woman? Love it.
She'll take right now. This season, Dorit's order is a straight vodka. The housewife, her castmates' carcasses out. She is just. She is murdering them left and right.
Oh my gosh. That's the Dorit now. Straight vodka, housewives carcasses out. We need to get you on Watch What Happens Live to be a bartender with that.
Yeah.
And then we can smoke cigarettes with Dorit afterwards.
Yeah. Dude, she's down. Oh my god, what if that is secretly why I've suddenly warmed to her now that she's like shamelessly smoking? That's how I know someone. That's how I decide they're my friend or future friend or whatever. I'm like, oh, she smokes. I like her. We're seeing. I want to have a gossipy cig with her. Yeah.
Yep. Let's do it. All right, let's get on the horn to Andy. Let's
do
it. Love it. All right. Well, is that it? I mean, we're off for a couple of weeks. I mean, Beverly Hills is off for a couple of weeks.
Right. We're not just bailing on you. It's literally the show is on hiatus for a couple of weeks over the holidays.
Look, I'm bailing on you. Like it's like it's the holidays. Everybody's schedule's weird. Everybody's going to be off. Like either, look, if you don't have, a crazy schedule, listen to back episodes of PCP. Hey, we got a whole catalog here. We got a catalog. We have over 200 episodes.
Wow.
Of like over 250 episodes of episodes for you to listen to.
Oh my god, they could do a rewatch the way like some like Housewives fans restart their favorite franchise.
Yep.
Just don't look at pictures of me from back then. It was a little more Santa Claus-ish looking.
Luckily, those episodes are not on YouTube.
Oh, good. I would delete them if they were on my side. I'd be like, oops. No, yeah. Everything's on YouTube now, so they can watch along too. You don't want to see Aunt Mary's ugly Christmas sweater. Look at our faces.
Yep. So yeah, just make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. I don't think we're gonna make 1,000 by New Year's. People, we're at like 852. We're like 148 people away. But if you want to try and make our Christmas miracle come true, subscribe right now. And we'll definitely get it in February.
And if you guys are having big family gatherings and you have those like relatives who don't know how to take a picture, whatever it is, just slide on in, pretend like you're fixing their app or whatever, their settings, and hit subscribe for them. That could be a gift to them that doesn't cost you anything. So
be fabulous. And it warms the cockles of our heart for sure. Make sure you're following us on all of our socials in case like we drop like fun little bits over the holiday, and then and all of that others. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky. Follow us personally there too. Make sure you leave a comment on the YouTubes, on anywhere. Leave a comment anywhere. Yeah. It's all good. And everybody have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2025, right?
Ho, ho, ho.